Oh, you're leaving? I knew that you would leave the forest someday, Link, because you are different from me and my friends. But that's okay, because we'll be friends forever, won't we? I want you to take this ocarina. Please take good care of it. When you play my ocarina, I hope you will think of me and come back to the forest to visit. What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to Ocarina of Time. Last time, the Great Deku Tree told us to head towards Hyrule Castle, and that is exactly what we are going to be doing this time to see if we can find this Princess of Destiny. Hoo hoot, Link, look up here! It appears the time has finally come for you to start your adventure. You will encounter many hardships ahead. That is your fate. Don't feel discouraged, even during the toughest times. If you go straight this way, you will see Hyrule Castle. You will meet a princess there. If you are lost, don't know which way to go, look at the map. There are the areas you have explored will be shown on the map. Tap the map icon on the lower screen to open the map subscreen. If you don't know where to go next, try heading to one of the locations marked with a flashing dot. Did you get all of that? Yes, we did. All right, then. I'll see you around. Hoot, 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 hoo! All right, getting started while we're running to Castletown, I actually want to talk about two different things, and ironically, they are just the title of the game. First up, the Ocarina actually had a pretty big upgrade from the N64 version of Ocarina of Time, and that is, if you look at the bottom screen, there is a dedicated button for the Ocarina now, meaning that whenever you want, you could just kind of pull it out, you could play the notes, and you don't have to worry about it taking up a slot in one of your actual button slots or item slots like it did in the N64 version when it took up one of your C item slots. And the other thing I want to talk about is time. And that is because when we are outside of towns, time flows very quickly. As you can see, the sun is going down. And as I said, it's only when you're outside of towns. And it also is when you're outside of the ranch, which happens to be right over there. The reason I bring it up is certain timed events happen at certain times of day. Kind of like these enemies spawning. They will only spawn at night out in Hyrule Field. And these are called Doll Children. And they are interesting, to say the least. They are, like I said, only appear here in Hyrule Field. But they are a classification of enemies that have what is called a giant version to them. And that just means if you defeat enough of them, a larger version will appear, which you can see right there. You can see how much bigger it is than the other ones. The funny thing about the Stall Children is that if you were able to defeat them over and over and over again, there was programming in I believe in both versions, the N64 and this version, that will just allow them to grow continuously. The reason I say if you could fight them over and over again is because if you can see, this moon is already going down, so daytime is almost here already. But I've seen it that if you could fight them over and over again, they could get as large as the Castle Town wall, which is insane. Another thing about the Stall Children is that The small ones will give you mostly green rupees and other items like Deku seeds. The medium-sized or large ones that you can get regularly will give you blue rupees. And then if you could get the massive ones, they would give you 3 red rupees, which would be the most effective rupee gathering method in the game if you were able to do it. But with all that being said, let's head to Castletown. And we are pretty much going to exclusively ignore everything in town right now, even though there are a ton of people and a ton of shops here, actually, that you could go and explore. As you can see, if we run around, there is just a ton of people you could talk to, a ton of places you could go. But the only person I want to talk to is actually this girl right here. Hey, your clothes, they're different. You're not from around here, are you? Oh, you're a fairy boy from the forest? My name's Malin. My dad owns Lon Lon Ranch. Dad went to the castle to deliver some milk, and he hasn't come back yet. All right, well, we're heading to the castle, so we'll go ahead and keep an eye out for him. Hey, Link, this way. The princess is inside the castle, just ahead. Be careful not to get caught by the guards. Hoot, 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 hoot. On this ground, time flows normally, but time stands still while you are in Lon Lon Ranch or in a town. If you want time to pass normally, you'll need to leave town. Well, which way are you going to go now? Hoot, 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 hoot. Did you want to hear what I said again? No. Hoo, you're a smart kid. Good luck then. Hoo, hoo. Yeah, he was just saying basically what I've already gone over, that time will flow normally here like it does out in the field. And I actually just want to throw these rocks to see if anything appears out of them. I don't think anything is going to, and I believe if we pick up this rock, there's bugs under them that we can't do anything with. But the big thing is if you roll into this tree, there is a gold spatula here that you want to pick up. And I believe that brings our number of gold spatulas to 4. And let's go ahead. Link, you put your sword away before we approach the guard. Hello. So, you say you want to see Princess Zelda, eh? You probably heard about her in town and decided you want to meet her. Well, go home. Get out of here. The princess would never grant an audience to the likes of you. All right. Rude. So, I'm not above admitting that I was stuck here for a very long time, because I originally played the N64 version, and I talked to the guard a bunch of times. I went back to town. I could not figure out how to proceed and get into the castle. And there's these vines right here. In the N64 versions, these vines are so well hidden into the wall that I literally could not see them, and I had to look it up. It was crazy. I spent maybe 15, 20 minutes just running around being like, what is happening? Why can I not get inside the gate? And it was literally just because I couldn't see the vines that were there. But once you climb up those vines, welcome to the stealth section without stealth mechanics. Basically, Ocarina of Time does not have any type of stealth mechanics, so you're just running through here hoping you don't get seen by guards. Also, this right here was rocks in the N64 version, also blended into the wall very well. So I much prefer the change to vines. But in Ocarina of Time, you can't crouch, and basically you just have to stay out of the sight of the guards. I wouldn't even recommend rolling, because I've had it to where if you rolled while too close to the guards, they would hear you and still throw you out of the castle, which I think is very funny that they're like, is that a child rolling in the field? Get him! But all we need to do is jump in the moat and swim over here, and we will find a man sleeping. Navi, you have anything to say about this? No? What if we talk to him? Mumble, mumble. Welcome. Our ranch is so fun. Come on and look around. Alright, well, this presumably is Malin. Since Malin said that they owned a ranch. But we have no way of waking him up, which means we have no way of moving these boxes to get inside the castle because for some reason we can't open this door. So I say we head back to Castletown and see if Malin has any ideas about how to wake up her father. But if we go back to Castletown, you can see that she's not actually here. And that the town is infested by dogs when it becomes night. But we'll go over that later. I just wanted to show that Malin's not actually here if we go back to Castletown. So I guess we just need to head back to the castle. Because as soon as you talk to Talon, or go back to Castletown and come back, she will be right here next to the vines we climbed up. And actually, if we just stand here and listen to her, she is singing Epona's song. This is actually the first instance of the song in any Zelda game, and Epona's song is a recurring theme that is actually in several Legend of Zelda games after Ocarina of Time. It's even played in the Ocarina of Time melody in Smash Ultimate, which should tell you about how important this song is. The reason I wanted to wait till night as well is because you can only hear her humming this song or singing this song during the night, because during the day the Hyrule Field theme really overpowers her. But now I just want to talk to her. Are you going to the castle, fairy boy? Would you mind finding my dad? He must have fallen asleep somewhere around the castle with a thing for an adult to do. What a thing for an adult to do, Teehee. Oh yeah, if you look for him, I'll give you this to you. I've been incubating this egg very carefully, Teehee. And she gives us a weird egg. Feels like there's something moving inside. Set it to 1, X, Y, or 2 to see what happens. On the item scope screen, you can set it to the item slot. And that is exactly what we are going to do. I think we are just going to put this on 2, because it's not an item we need to use very often. And we are just going to head back to Talon. I would recommend talking to Malin during the night and picking up this egg for reasons we'll see relatively soon. But while we're running back, I actually want to show what it looks like if you're caught by the guard, because it's kind of funny. Hey, you! Stop! You kid over there! And they just walk towards you and quite literally chuck you into the fences. I just find it so funny, but now we're just gonna run back to Talon real quick. Alright, back over at Talon. The reason I recommended talking to Malin and getting the weird egg at night is because it requires the crowing of the rooster going from night to day to become a cuckoo. And this is actually what we need to wake up Talon. What in tarnation? Can a person get a little shut-eye around here? Hello, who might you be? Yep, I'm Talon, the owner of Lon Lon Ranch. I went to the castle to deliver some milk, but I sat down here to rest, and I guess I fell asleep. What? Malin was looking for me. I'm gonna catch it from her now. I messed up bad leaving Malin behind away from me. She's really gonna let me have it. And with Talon out of the way, we can finally push these boxes down so we can get inside of the castle. I did go ahead and pull them over to Talon while I was waiting for the sun to come up, just to make pushing them go a little bit faster, because that was weird. That was the pushing animation and it pulled it towards me. But I was going to say that the pushing speed in this game is not fast, so anything I could do to make it go a little bit faster is preferred. But all we need to do now is jump up and roll over here and kind of just crawl into the castle. Alright, now that we're inside of the castle, we're basically just doing more stealth mini games when we're just trying to sneak around these guards. But I have a question. much treason do you think is too much in Hyrule? Because if you think about it, we have committed so many crimes so far. We have scaled a wall to get into a gated part of a castle. We broke into the castle itself through the water ducts, which I could only assume brings like several life sentences. And then if we continue our way this way, we can even steal from the castle since there are rupees underground there. I'm going to choose not to because I don't want to get caught. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to opt to just kind of climb up here and walk across this bar, like very carefully. I'm being quiet because I don't want to mess this up. Okay, good. But like, just think about that. The amount of crimes that we have committed is so many. Also, that's not even bringing up the fact that we are armed. I have a sword. So we're breaking into a castle in several different ways, by the way. We are stealing from them, and we're doing it all while armed. And what is our punishment? If a guard sees us, they just kick us out of the castle. Not even out of the castle grounds, mind you. They just put us back where we pushed those blocks. We don't get arrested. We don't get brought before the king. And they don't take anything from us. It's insane, if you think about it. But with that, we are in the castle courtyard, and there's a girl here that we need to talk to. What? Who? Who are you? How did you get past the guard? Honestly, I'm pretty sure most of them are nearsighted. They're not very good guards, if we're being real. Oh, what's that? Is that a fairy? Then are you from the forest? Then would you happen to have the spiritual stone of the forest? Would you? Then you wouldn't happen to have the spiritual stone of the forest, would you? The green and shiny stone? Do you have it? Nope, never seen it before. Well, that's odd. I thought you might be the one for my dream. You really don't have it? Tell me the truth. Do you have it? I told you, no. Well, that's not fine. I have it. Just as I thought. I had a dream. In that dream, dark storm clouds were billowing over the land of Hyrule. But suddenly a ray of light shot out of the forest, parted the clouds and lifted up the ground, and lit up the ground. The light turned into a figure holding a green and shining stone, followed by a fairy. I know this is a prophecy that somebody would come from the forest. Yes, I thought you might be the one. Oh, I'm sorry. I got carried away with my story and didn't even properly introduce myself. I am Zelda, Princess of Hyrule. What is your name? Link. Strange. It sounds familiar. Okay then, Link. I'm going to tell you the secret of the sacred realm that has been passed down by the royal family of Hyrule. Please, keep this a secret from everyone. No. Come on, don't be a blabbermouth. Please, keep this a secret of everyone. Okay, fine. The legend goes like this. The three goddesses hid the Triforce containing the power of the gods somewhere in Hyrule. The power to grant the wish of one who holds the Triforce in his hands. If someone with a righteous heart make a wish, it will lead Hyrule to a golden age of prosperity. If someone with an evil mind has his wish granted, the world will be consumed by evil. That is what has been foretold. So, the ancient sages built the Temple of Time to protect the Triforce from evil ones. That's right, the Temple of Time is the entrance through which you can enter the sacred realm from our world. But the entrance is sealed with a stone wall called the Door of Time. And in order to open the door, it is said that you need to collect 3 spiritual stones. Another thing you need is the treasure that the royal family keeps along with this legend. The Ocarina of Time. Did you understand, well, the story I told you? Yes, we did. That's great. I forgot to tell you. I was spying through this window just now. The other element from my dream, the dark clouds, I believe they symbolize that man in there. Will you look through the window at him? No. Please, if you don't hurry, he'll be gone. Can you see the man with the evil eyes? That is Ganondorf, the leader of the Gerudo. They hail from the desert far to the west. Though he swears allegiance to my father, I am sure he is not sincere. The dark clouds that cover Hyrule in my dream, they must symbolize that man. What happened? Did he see you? Don't worry. He doesn't have any idea what we're planning yet. Yes, I told my father about my dream. However, he did not believe it was a prophecy. But I can sense that man's evil intentions. What Ganondorf is after must be nothing less than the Triforce of the Sacred Realm. He must have come to Hyrule to obtain it. And he wants to conquer Hyrule. No, the entire world. Link, now we are the only ones who can protect Hyrule. Please. Look, that's a lot to take all at once. I don't believe you. Please believe me, my prophecies have never been wrong. Please. Thank you. I am afraid. I have a feeling that man is going to destroy Hyrule. He has such terrifying power. And it's fortunate that you have come. You must not let Ganondorf get the Triforce. I will protect the Ocarina of Time with all my power. He shall not have it. You go find the other two spiritual stones. Let's get the Triforce before Ganondorf does and defeat him. One more thing. Take this letter. I'm sure it will be helpful to you. My attendant will guide you out of the castle. Don't be afraid to talk to her. I am Impa of the Sheikah. I am responsible for protecting Princess Zelda. Everything is exactly as the princess foretold. You are a courageous boy. You are heading out on a big new adventure, aren't you? My role in the princess' dream was to teach a melody to the one of the forest. This is an ancient melody passed down by the royal family. I have played this song for Princess Zelda as a lullaby ever since she was a baby. This is mysterious power in these notes. There is mysterious power in these notes. Now listen carefully. You've learned Zelda's lullaby. If the castle soldiers found you, there would be trouble. Let me lead you out of the castle. I mean, really, there wouldn't be much trouble. They'd literally just kick you out of the castle. It's not that bad. You brave lad. We must protect this beautiful land of Hyrule. Take a good look at that mountain. That is Death Mountain, home of the Gorons. They hold the spiritual stone of fire. At the foot of Death Mountain, you will find my village, Kakariko. That is where I was born and raised. You should talk to some of the villagers before you go up Death Mountain. The song I just taught you has some mysterious power. Only royal family members are allowed to learn this song. Remember, it will help to prove your connection to the royal family. The princess is waiting for you to return to the castle with the stones. All right, we're counting on you. All right. We've been given a quest by Princess Zelda, so I think we're going to end this episode here. I hope that everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we're going to completely ignore Princess Zelda and go back into Castletown to see what there is to do there. But until then, happy adventuring.